You can wear a smartwatch that tracks everything you do and still have no idea what your body's telling you. You've heard the phrase 1,000 times, listen to your body. It sounds really simple. It almost sounds soft, but for a lot of capable, high-functioning people, that phrase doesn't mean anything yet. It's a slogan, it's not a skill. So in the next few minutes, I want to make it concrete. What does listening to your body actually mean? Why are most of us bad at it? And how do you get better at it without turning every twinge into a problem or every feeling into a crisis? Let's slow down and take a look at it properly. So, what does listening to your body actually mean? Well, listening to your body is not obeying every impulse. It's not lying down every time you're tired. It's not eating every time you have an urge. It's not skipping anything uncomfortable. That's not body awareness. That's reactivity. Listening to your body is closer to literacy. It's the ability to notice an internal signal, name it accurately, and respond to it with some intelligence. There's a technical word for the underlying skill. It's called interoception. It's the ability to perceive what's happening inside your own body: hunger, fatigue, tension, breath, heart rate, stress activation, emotional load. Interoception is not a personality trait, it's a learnable skill. Some people are good at it naturally, but most aren't. Most have spent years training the opposite, pushing through, overriding, pretending the signal wasn't there. So when we say listen to your body, we're not saying indulge it. We're saying understand it, and then respond from a more accurate read of what's actually going on. So why are so many capable people bad at it? Because most of us were rewarded for ignoring it. Push through the tiredness, skip the meal, stay up late, sit through the meeting. Don't make a thing out of it. That kind of override worked, sort of. I mean, it got things done. It built careers. It got us through stretches we needed to get through. But over years, it teaches the nervous system to disconnect. The signals get quieter. Discomfort becomes background noise. You stop knowing you're hungry until you're starving. You stop noticing tension until it's a headache. You stop feeling tired until it's exhaustion. The body keeps sending signals. You just stop receiving them. And then someone says, listen to your body, and you realize you don't actually know how to translate the language anymore. What signals are people most likely to override? Well, there's a pretty consistent list. Fatigue, especially the early kind, the dip before the crash, tension, the shoulders, the jaw, the breath you didn't notice you were holding, hunger, or its opposite, the fullness you blow right past, stress activation, that low buzz of being mildly dysregulated for hours without naming it, emotional overload, when you're not sad or angry exactly, you're just overcapacity, real need versus habit. Are you actually hungry, or is it 3 p.m. and that's what you do at 3 p.m.? Discomfort versus damage. Is this the productive ache of effort, or is something actually wrong? Depletion versus avoidance. Do you not want to do this because you're tapped or because it's hard? Those distinctions sound subtle, and they are, but they make the difference between recovery and burnout, between effort and injury, between presence and reactivity. So how do you tell the difference between a real signal and a passing impulse? This is where most people get tangled up. A passing impulse is usually loud, fast, and triggered by something external. You see a snack, you feel an urge, you scroll because you're bored. A real signal is usually quieter. It's been there a while. It tracks with something physiological: sleep, food, stress, recovery, hormones, time of day. The simplest test is a pause. If a sensation gets louder when you stop and pay attention to it, it's probably real. Hunger that builds when you sit down. Fatigue that becomes obvious the second you stop moving. Tension that announces itself when the noise drops. If it fades the moment that you pause, it was probably an impulse riding on top of something else. You don't need to be perfect about this. You just need to stop reacting on autopilot long enough to ask, what is this actually? So how do you get better at body awareness without becoming obsessive? This is the line a lot of people miss. Body awareness is not the same as anxiety-driven hypervigilance. It's not scanning yourself for problems all day. It's not turning every sensation into a potential threat. Hypervigilance is fear-based. Body awareness is information-based. The goal is accurate interpretation, not constant monitoring. A few things that actually work. Pause before you override. When you feel fatigue, tension, or stress, give it 3 seconds before you push past it. That's it. 3 seconds of acknowledgement. You could still choose to push through, but now you've registered the signal instead of erasing it. Check in at transitions, between meetings, before meals, after work. When you change rooms, just notice, what does my body feel like right now? No analysis required, just contact. Name it more specifically, not just tired, wired tired, mentally fried, physically heavy, underslept. The more specifically you can name a sensation, the more useful the signal becomes. Distinguish the categories. Activation is not depletion. Boredom is not hunger. Avoidance is not exhaustion. The more cleanly you can sort what's happening, the better your response will be. Notice patterns, not single moments. How does your body feel after poor sleep? After overeating? After 3 hours of screens? After a hard conversation? The pattern is the data. Make actual room for downregulation. Not entertainment, not numbing, real downregulation. Slow breath, slow movement, low stimulation, even if it's brief. And one more, this matters more than people realize. Body literacy is not the same as tracking metrics. You can have a ring, you can have a watch, you can have an app, a spreadsheet of your sleep stages, and still be completely disconnected from your body. Data is not the same as awareness. Numbers about you are useful only if you also know what's actually happening inside the system generating them. What this changes in daily life. When this skill actually develops, ordinary decisions get better. You stop scheduling your hard work for the hours your body can't do it. You catch stress action before it cascades into a worse version of yourself. You eat closer to actual hunger and less out of pattern. You sleep better because you stop overriding the early tiredness. You recover more urgently because you noticed you needed to. You make reactive decisions because you could tell the difference between an impulse and a signal. And maybe most importantly, you stop being surprised by your own body. The crashes feel random. The bad days feel less mysterious. You start to actually live with the system instead of in spite of it. Listening to your body is not soft. It's not self-indulgent, and it's not anti-discipline. It's a working knowledge of the system you live inside. The body almost always signals overload before the mind forms a clean story about it. If you can read those signals, even a little bit better than you do today, you make better decisions about rest, effort, stress, and recovery almost automatically. You don't have to monitor yourself constantly. You don't have to obsess. You just have to stop overriding the quiet signals long enough to hear what they're actually saying. One quick note, if you have persistent severe fatigue or any symptom that worries you, get looked at by a doctor. Body literacy is not a substitute for medical care. It's a complement to it.